Cape Cod Broadcasting weaves the listening environments of 99.9 WQRC, Ocean 104.7, WFCC Classical 107.5, Cape Country 104, and CapeCon.com's website experience to reflect the lifestyles of the people who live, work, and play on Cape Cod. We hope that you enjoy this podcast.
I'm Matt McCarthy, and this is Sunday Journal. Hockey isn't just a sport for the boys. As the Winter Olympics recently proved, women play too, and frankly, they're darn good at it. Cape Codders may have recognized some of the names representing both Team USA and Team Canada. That's because they've played on Cape Cod before. The Hockey East Conference was, as usual, well represented at the Olympics, and once again, the Women's Hockey East Championship Tournament is returning to Hyannis and the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. I'm joined this morning by Joe Izzo, the general manager of the HYCC, and Patty Lloyd, the vice president of sales at the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. Both have been instrumental in bringing some of the best women's hockey in the country to Cape Cod. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Matt. Thanks for having us.
Joe, I'm going to start with you. So this is the third year that the HYCC has partnered with Hockey East to bring the women's tournament to Hyannis?
That is correct, Matt. Yeah, it's the third year for us here at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, and we couldn't be more excited to have these girls back for the third year. The first 2 years, actually, Boston University has won the first 2 years at the HYCC, and I'm sure they're really excited to be coming back and see if they can complete the three-peat.
Well, BC, or BU, I should say. I don't want to confuse those two. Big rivalry. They are certainly going to be very excited to try and retain their title. Patty Lloyd, Vice President of Sales for the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. This is an initiative of yours to bring big events like this to the Cape. Could you tell me a little bit about how the Hockey East Championship, first of all, came to the Cape and how you've kept it here over the past few years?
We were introduced to Hockey East by the former commissioner of the ECAC, Rudy Kaling. We meet certain sports event planners and meeting planners, and we prospect them and do sites and showcase Cape Cod, some of the prettier parts, and also the facility and the hotels. And we try to afford the event planners a possible grant and rally the troops for support for this particular game this year. The Cape Codders, the host, and they'll all be wearing Hockey East jerseys at Hearth and Kettle and during the banquet. All the tournament banners will be hung up in the hotel. We are showcasing this particular event geared towards women, to our girls hockey teams that are housed here, Cape Cod Waves, the Junior Hurricanes, Barnstable Youth Hockey. It attracts all of our children just to have such superstars, females, on the ice at Hyannis Youth and Community Center.
Well, you talked about superstars. There's such a tie-in between Hockey East and, if you watched Olympic hockey over the past few weeks, so many current Hockey East players and former Hockey East players playing for both the U.S. and the Canadian national team. So certainly a tie-in for people who watch them on TV. You'll get to see where a lot of these players played. You hosted a Boston Blades game a couple of years ago. They're the professional team in the Canadian Women's Hockey League. Was that one of the jumping-off points to looking at hosting more women's hockey here on the Cape?
Yeah, definitely, Matt. It really highlighted for us the opportunity to do something different for the community, to bring a different type of event to Cape Cod. And the Canadian Women's Hockey League really opened up a lot of people's eyes to women's hockey, which sort of dovetailed very well into Women's Hockey East. And Patty alluded to it a little earlier. I mean, it's really a group effort on bringing events like this to Cape Cod, or to the HYCC. Patty and her team from the chamber work so hard to open doors and build relationships, and then the rest of the community gets involved in, whether it's at Town Hall for the town of Barnstable, or whether it's here at the HYCC, and whether it's Cape Cod Baseball League, and all these different groups and organizations get together, and together we sort of put together a package that makes these organizations feel welcome and excited and happy to be coming here. So whether it's the Canadian Women's Hockey League or Women's Hockey East, when these folks come here, they feel warm and special, and they feel like they're excited to be here because of the support of everybody. So it's not just that we have this wonderful building in Hyannis, which of course we do. We have this great building, but it's so much more than that. It's really the people and the hard work behind it that help bring these such high level of hockey that we can showcase to our youth and to our families.
And Joe just talked about the work that goes into bringing an event like this, the Women's Hockey East Championship, to the Cape. I'm wondering if you could talk about it a little bit more, Patty, what the Chamber does to bring events like this to Cape Cod.
Well, we have a great sports advisory panel, particularly for sports. Strong panel of about 20 folks from different walks, restaurants, hoteliers, the baseball league, senior softball. We get together once a month and we try to identify sporting events that are not high profile, but are high profile for our area. But I want to remind everyone that we do live on Cape Cod, and we travel extensively. The Cape Cod Chamber and the Mass Office of Travel and Tourism has allowed us to travel nationwide to try to identify events that would be a good fit for Cape Cod. Cape Cod is a dream destination with the 559 miles of coastline. Everybody wants to come to the Cape. We also, in this particular event, are offering a neutral site, so that they're not on a college campus. And there's a big banquet that's associated with this. All the ladies dress up. So it's kind of their prom before the big games, right?
Yeah.
So it's fun on Friday night, and then action-packed, and then they're devils on the ice to each other, but it's a great, great game. I mean, if you have never been to a women's hockey game, a college level, I will tell you they are athletes that deserve so much more recognition.
Well, I can certainly second that. I've been to plenty of women's hockey games, and you are exactly right. The quality of play, the intensity of the play, it is spirited, and it is very good. So let's talk a little bit more about the event, the Women's Hockey East Championship that's coming up March 8th and 9th. Those are the two games, but it's really a whole weekend. As you alluded to, there are practices being held on Friday, and you mentioned the banquet, and of course the actual games themselves, which is the real draw, the actual hockey tournament that will be held. I'm wondering if you could just talk a little bit more in depth, either of you, Joe or Patty, talk a little bit more in depth about what you have going on the actual weekend of the tournament.
Sure. Yeah. The four teams that qualify, and we'll know the four teams on Sunday night after the quarterfinals are complete. But the four teams will probably arrive Thursday night, Friday morning onto Cape Cod and come to the host hotel. And then on Friday morning, beginning at 10:15 at the HYCC, each of the four teams will have just about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes worth of practice on Friday, starting at 10, going till 5 in the afternoon. And during that time, the building is open, and the folks can come in free of charge and come and watch these girls work out. They'll go through their final practices before the games on Saturday, and you can come in and sit and get a hot chocolate from the Casual Gourmet and just see these high level athletes, these world class athletes, 10 feet away from you in the Kennedy rink. So that's a really cool experience, to bring your child or your significant other or whatever, just roll into the HYCC and see these incredible girls practice their skills and get ready. And we've done something the last couple of years where we've allowed youth hockey organizations who sell tickets, who purchase tickets, to participate with the teams on the ice for the last 10 or 15 minutes of their practice. And I can't say enough nice things about the teams from Women's Hockey East. Each of the coaches and the teams have been so gracious to allow their practice to be open for the last few minutes, to have youth hockey players, and it's the last 2 years, it's been girls hockey players, either from the Waves or Barnstable Youth Hockey or from Canal Youth Hockey, and they'll get a bunch of girls together, a team, or 10 or 15 girls to come out. They'll put on their uniform, strap on their skates, go out for the last 15 minutes of practice with these Division I college athletes, and they'll run the same drills, and they'll be out on the ice together. And one of the coolest things I've ever seen, they do, I don't know the names of all the drills or whatever, but when the offensive player takes the shots on the goalies, and to see these college athletes put their arms around these young kids, these young impressionable 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, and then show them how to make a move to score on the goalie. And the goalies are the collegiate goalies. I mean, these are some of the best goalies in the world. I think two of them played in the Olympics.
Yeah, Olympic quality athletes.
Sure.
There's no hiding it. These
Sure.
are Olympic quality athletes.
Yeah, and then you see these young girls from Barnstable youth hockey or from the Cape Cod Waves take the puck, skate down, and score. Score on these goalies. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen at the HYCC, and the coaches are so great, and the players are so great, and they're always so gracious, and they're smiling, and everyone's having a great time. So it really speaks to not just a hockey game where we want to sell tickets for $10. It really speaks to something that we are lucky enough to bring to Cape Cod, which can sort of help our community, help these kids realize what could be possible.
Have you seen an uptick in young girls interested in hockey because of this event?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the girls' youth hockey is probably the fastest growing segment of hockey on Cape Cod, and I think it's due to a lot of different things. I think the Olympics definitely help. The fact that women's hockey in general at the collegiate level is growing. More and more schools have teams, and more kids want to be out and they want to do stuff. And for us to be able to host this event and to showcase and to say, yeah, you know what, your brother plays hockey and he plays pee-wees or whatever, but it's okay for girls to play and girls can play. And there's an opportunity for that. And not only is there an opportunity when you're young, there's an opportunity to progress and play through high school and into college if you're lucky enough.
And this is one of the great things about bringing an event like this to Cape Cod. It's the Women's Hockey East Championship. It's the 12th annual edition. It's the third time it's being held here on the Cape. I'm joined this morning here on Sunday Journal by Patty Lloyd. She's the Vice President of Sales for the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. They are one of the driving forces behind bringing this event back to the Cape, and Joe Izzo is here as well. He is the General Manager of the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, and they're joining us here on Sunday Journal. You talked a little bit about the events leading up to the games. The games will be held on the 8th and 9th of the weekend. The semifinals will be held on the 8th, and then the finals will be held on the 9th. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. The semifinal games will be played on Saturday. The first game is at 1:30. The second game is at 4:30. It is a ticketed event. Tickets are $10 per person, and the ticket for Saturday will actually gain you access to both games. So it's one ticket. You can see both semifinal games on Saturday, and then the two winners will advance to the championship game on Sunday, which is at 1:30. And the ticket for that is the same. That is also $10 per person. And the cool thing about Sunday's game is that the game will be played at 1:30, and Nesson will actually broadcast the game, and they'll broadcast it on a tape delay because they have a Red Sox game that afternoon. But they'll broadcast that game at 8 o'clock on Sunday night. So what we're encouraging folks to do is, whether it's a youth hockey team or a high school team or a group of friends, wear your uniforms, wear crazy wigs, paint your face, make signs, make it a real festive atmosphere. Come out on Sunday afternoon at 1:30, have a great time, then go home, watch the game on TV, and see yourself, cheering on the champions.
How can people go about getting involved and getting tickets for this event?
Sure, yeah. At this point, Matt, the best way for folks to get tickets would be at the HYCC itself, and we're encouraging folks to come during the week. This week, our box office is open from 8 in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Come right down to the HYCC and purchase the tickets. We're expecting big crowds over the weekend, so if you can get your tickets early, you'll avoid some lines, which we're encouraging everyone to do. But if for some reason you can't and you want to give us a call, you can always give us a call, and we'll make arrangements that way and have tickets available for you at will call. We want as many people as humanly possible to come out and support these girls and show them just how hockey friendly Cape Cod is.
And Patty, this event is generating a lot of buzz. Nesson, as Joe just alluded to, will be broadcasting the game. What kind of economic impact do you see from bringing an event like this to the Cape, to Hyannis? An event that is becoming more and more high profile, especially after the Olympics, when women's hockey is on the mind of sports fans alike and just people who enjoy hockey in general. What does an event like this do for the economy, and how does it impact the Cape?
Well, obviously, our job at the Cape Cod Chamber is to put heads in beds, and this event is high profile for our girls. But the economic impact right out of the gate with just the cost of the event is approximately $45,000 to $50,000 just between the rooms, the ice, and everything else, just to put the event on. The first year they brought almost 1,300 people here. Last year it was close to 800 or 900 people. You have 900 people, not only locals coming, parents coming from all over, spending tons of dollars on Main Street or wherever they prefer to drop some bucks. And so the economic impact is huge, especially in March. Last year we had a snowstorm and the numbers were still great, and we did realize an uptick in the sales tax and the room receipts. So every time we do an event like this, it's twofold what it's going to do for the community, but economic impact. We are charged up to bring events here in the winter months or the shoulder season, as they call it. But this one it does both for us, economic and profile.
And Joe, I'm wondering if you could just talk a little bit about just what you have going on right now at the HYCC as a whole, outside of the women's hockey event that you have coming up.
We're just wrapping up our high school hockey season. We serve as the home rink for Barnstable High School, Mashpee, and Pope John. We also are the home rink for two youth hockey organizations, two really strong organizations on Cape Cod, Barnstable Youth Hockey and New England Junior Hurricanes. And coming up in the month of March, typically February and March are really big youth hockey tournament months across the state and especially at the HYCC. One great event that we've hosted at the HYCC and that's been on Cape Cod in Hyannis for tons of years. I think as long as everyone can remember.
15th years.
16 years. Yes. It's the Barnstable Youth Hockey Lobster Pot Tournament, which is a mite hockey tournament, and mites are the little kids, like the little kids.
Yeah, the ones you see on TV during intermission at the Bruins game.
Yeah. And they come with parents
yeah.
that have to drive and stay overnight.
Yeah.
There is the economic impact.
Definitely.
Bingo.
And that is just such a wonderful tournament. And they play at different rinks throughout Cape Cod, not only the HYCC, but really all over. And what that tournament does is it allows these little kids, the opportunity to play in their first tournament ever. And their names are announced, and there's music over the PA, and it's just really a fun, festive atmosphere. And Steve Devlin and the folks from Barnstable Youth Hockey have done an incredible job growing it and making it exciting and fresh and unique for everybody. There's tons of hockey and tons of figure skating going on at the HYCC. We also have basketball. We have a bunch of basketball tournaments coming in as well. So, yeah, it's definitely not dull at the HYCC.
Well, the 12th Annual Women's Hockey East Championship Tournament is coming to the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. The finals, the semifinals, and the finals will be played there Saturday, March 8th, and Sunday, March 9th. That will be hosted once again at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. I was joined this morning by Joe Izzo. He's the general manager of the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, and joined also by Patty Lloyd, the vice president of sales for the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber very involved in bringing events like this to Cape Cod. Thank you so much for joining us on Sunday Journal, and enjoy the tournament, most of all.
Thank you. Hope to see you there, Matt.
Excellent. Oh, I will be there. Trust me. I'm Matt McCarthy, and this is Sunday Journal.
This podcast is a presentation of Cape Cod Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Thank you for listening. For more information, please visit us at capecodbroadcasting.com.